All right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. Try not to get too loud. If you guys didn't see my main channel video, I just went to the doctor earlier today and I have tonsillitis apparently, so the back of my throat is extremely sore, but still got some news to talk about, discuss in today's video. Honestly, a lot of pretty exciting stuff, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. If you want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends esports related, including like roster updates and changes that we got to discuss today, and I'm excited to announce what seems to be very exciting developments for the future of ALGS Year 4, then of course like the video, subscribe to the channel, and here we go. First thing I want to make mention of, big announcement here from Furia. They did announce that they're basically going to be doing something with His and Hers Live, a little bit of a partnership here for their new academy stuff. Really like to see more esport events going on for Apex. Sadly though, I'll always die on this hill. It's always the content creators that seem to be doing it and not EA itself. So shout out to the organizations that are investing into the scene and the content creators as well investing into the scene. Love to see that stuff as always. Okay, now I want to mention the scrim results from last night, and this is where a lot of our storylines come out of and some crazy things to discuss. Number one, PSQ results. Once again, E8 taking the dub as always. I don't think this team has really placed outside of the top 3 at all for the PSQ. Maybe once, and maybe I missed it. I did a little bit of an article the other day about the most likely team to make it out, and it was E8 with a whopping 1.75 average placings in the recent 8 scrims that they've done. Now, of course, that doesn't include the last 2 or 3 because the article is about 5 days old or so, but was really interesting stuff for them, and those guys have been killing it. But also, Pin 5 also, was a different team name not long ago before EA made them change it. Second place, and we really look for both of those teams to make it through PSQ and then drop in gaming as well. Another team that looks very, very likely. But we move into the Pro League results, and of course, this is where our storylines come from. X at first place, Optic Gaming, Sweet and friends, so Sweet and his new third teammate that they were trialing last night. The list goes on. Of course, you've got some others in there as well. Really nothing too important other than the fact that once again, DarkZero, yes, was playing with Genburten, Zero, and Sykes from Xset. You may be saying, if you missed yesterday's video, you may be confused as to why Sykes is playing with DarkZero, even though he's kind of on Xset, and why is Xset playing without Sykes? Seems like these trials are continuing to go on. Here we go, storyline number 1. Apex Pro, Sweet and Nafen trialing again, another third for ALGS Year 4. Surprisingly enough, we've known that they've trialed Genburten, we've known that they've trialed Koyful, but this time Koyful and Genburten were playing on other teams while Sweet and Nafen were in this, and it looks like Sweet and Nafen were playing with someone new. We don't really know who exactly it was, but their mysterious gamer tag, once again, I don't know what it is with trying to keep these gamer tags mysterious, but it was Big Bandit 523198. Not sure if anybody knows who in the world Big Bandit 523198 is, but of course they seem to do pretty good. I think it was their best placement actually. So even though Genburten obviously very good third, even though Koyful very good third, it seems like whoever this Big Bandit guy is, they've actually had the most success with Sweet and friends that Sweet and Nafen have had with Koyful or Genburten. That was their top placing that they've had, being in third, because they're normally around 5th. It was also the most points that they've had as well. Now, it is worth mentioning before you jump the gun and think, oh, this guy's obviously the best. It's worth mentioning that Sweet and Koy and Sweet and Genburten were contested when they were in their trials as well. So it's really, not easy to say that, oh, it's just that simple. They're much better with this team. If they were uncontested like they were in this one, they may have had actual better results than what they were playing in last night. So it's not really safe to say that this is a more successful trial than what Koyful and Genburten was, but it is slight successful. It is a slight bit more successful as far as the point numbers go, but obviously you might not want to look too far into it. So who in the world could this Big Bandit guy be? I have no idea, but we have heard maybe Zane could look to trial with his team as well. Interested to see what you guys have to say. The weird one though, and this is the one that is starting to get me, because on paper I really wanted to see Sweet, Nafen, and Koy, not gonna lie. I don't really know if that's going to continue to happen after what's been happening with Xset, because Koyful has been playing with Xset in the place of Sykes, as Sykes has been playing with DarkZero. Now, Koyful placed first yesterday with Xset, and I just thought, okay, really good performance. And then they did it again last night. Once again, first place again. Xset has now won back-to-back scrim results in the place with Koyful and no longer Sykes. Really, really interesting stuff, and this is a dangerous roster in the making. And as much as I would on paper like to see Koy with Sweet and Nafen, Xset is not to be counted out. You can't forget how good they were last year, and even in Split 1, they've shown a lot of signs of dominance in the past. Even last year, like winning a lot of the Pro League results and doing really good at LAN. I think even one of those, like winning like 3 out of the 6 games or something that they did in one of the group stage matches. Those guys are crazy. And just because they haven't been scrimming lately doesn't mean that we could just count them out and start looking at TSM, Oxygen, DarkZero, whatever. There's still some teams that have not really shown too many signs of presence inside of ALGS scrims until obviously recently. And Koyful on XSET may be the plug that they want to finish this out with. And honestly, considering that Sweet has had a good successful trial with whoever Big Bandit is, maybe they just look at this and say, we found better fits in both teams. Maybe Koyful likes XSET better, maybe Sweet likes Big Bandit better, who really knows? But it's not necessarily to say that this is down and out, that it's over. Still, roster confirmations need to take place, so of course stay tuned. Lastly, also wanted to mention exciting developments for ALGS Year 4 after Apex team Furia Founder. His name is James, I guess, or Jamie. It's spelled James, but I would assume it's got to be pronounced Jamie. Anyways, he drops a pretty big teaser that has a lot of fans excited. By the way, all of this is on apexglobalseries.com, my personal website, if you want to check it out with all things Apex Legends esports updates. Now, this happened yesterday after someone had asked the founder of Furia, how do you see the Apex scenario and Furia basically for Apex? Because several large organizations have left the game and it doesn't seem to be a very economically viable game. But the Furia owner responded and said, basically, we've won multiple titles, second place in the world championship, and EA has good plans. Of course, it's in a different language here, but I had to translate it. And if you use the Twitter translating feature, it tells you what it says. And basically, Apex is an important game, blah blah blah, but EA has good plans for the next season, and we are confident. Now, this comes after the obvious news, and this is kind of funny. In the article, I had to put myself, jmeyels, a prominent ALGS news reporter. Yes, that's me. I'm sorry, but I had to. Basically, if you guys don't remember, a while back, I made a tweet saying that I heard some really good news about Apex. And of course, shortly after, Minus Tempo came out saying the same exact thing. A lot of people thought I was baiting at the time, but really, I have no intent to. Like, I'm just trying to basically hype up the esport in the most possible way, clickable way, while not lying in a way either. So Minus Tempo had also said that he heard that EA was planning to do more, whatever that may be. But then he also said that there might be a potential partnership of select teams, and that's what a lot of people started to wonder. Is EA finally going to start hammering down and locking this esport down and partnering with these teams that really need to be partnered with, especially the ones that have such a big following like TSM and such? So interesting stuff to see, of course, and obviously we'll have to wait and see what the future of Apex esports will be. But EA having good plans next season makes it sound like ALGS Year 4. We'll see exactly what they do and what announcements are still to be yet announced. Interested to see what you guys have to say, though, down in the comment section below about all the topics in today's videos. Of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends esports related. And until the next time, we will see you all later, Gators.